911, what is the address of your emergency?
My name is Tom Martens. I'm at 1C Panther Creek Court, and we need help.
What's going on there?
My daughter's husband, my son-in-law, got in a fight with my daughter. I intervened, and I think he's in bad shape. We need help.
Okay, what do you mean he's in bad shape? He's hurt?
He's bleeding all over, and I may have killed him.
My son-in-law, he's in bad shape. I think I killed him. Those were the words of a 65-year-old ex-FBI agent on a 911 call in the early hours of August 2nd, 2015. When police arrived, they found Jason Corbett, an Irish father of two, naked, sprawled on his bedroom floor, his skull shattered by a baseball bat and a concrete paving brick. What unfolded after that night was more than just a murder case. It was a family torn apart, children caught between two worlds, and a justice system that left everyone asking, how could this happen? Jason Corbett was born in 1976 in Limerick, Ireland. One of 8 children, he was hardworking, loyal, and family-driven. He found love with Margaret Fitzpatrick, Mags. Together they had 2 kids, Jack and Sarah. But tragedy struck early. Just 3 months after Sarah was born, Mags died suddenly from an asthma-related attack. Jason was only 30, left a widower with 2 tiny children in his arms. Friends said his heartbreak was unbearable, but he lived for his kids. They became his purpose. By 2008, Jason needed help at home, so he hired an American au pair, 24-year-old Molly Martens. On the surface, she seemed perfect, but Molly's past was filled with red flags, contradictions about her education, struggles with mental health, and a reputation for instability. Still, Jason grew close to her. By 2011, they married and moved to North Carolina for his job. From the outside, it looked like a second chance at happiness, but inside the home, cracks appeared fast. Family members noticed first. Molly was controlling, secretive, obsessed with adopting Jason's children. Jason refused. He worried about her temperament. He even hid the kids' passports, fearing she might take them and disappear. By 2015, Jason was done. He told family he was planning to divorce Molly and return to Ireland with Jack and Sarah. That decision never came. At 3 a.m. on August 2nd, Jason was attacked in his own bedroom. Molly and her father Thomas, who was staying over that night, told police Jason had been drunk and violent. They claimed he was choking Molly until Tom struck him with a baseball bat in self-defense. Molly admitted she joined in, smashing a paving brick into Jason's skull, but the scene told a very different story. Jason's injuries were catastrophic. At least 12 blows to the head, so severe that when a responder lifted him, their fingers slipped through broken bone. This wasn't a desperate struggle, this was overkill. And while Jason's body was destroyed, Molly and her father, almost no injuries, just a faint red mark on her neck. The autopsy deepened suspicion. Jason's blood alcohol was almost zero, even though Molly swore he'd been drinking heavily. Instead, his system showed traces of trazodone, a sedative prescribed not to him, but to Molly. Had he been drugged? Investigators thought so. Then came something even stranger. That paving brick wasn't lying around by chance. It had been sitting on Molly's nightstand. Her excuse? It was part of an art project with the kids. Detectives also uncovered another chilling detail. Jason had a $600,000 life insurance policy, and the sole beneficiary? Molly. Piece by piece, the so-called self-defense story looked less like a struggle and more like a plan. As Jason was laid to rest in Ireland, another battle began: custody of his children. Molly fought to keep them, insisting Jason had been abusive. But his will was clear. Custody belonged to his sister, Tracy. The legal fight dragged on for months. In early interviews, Jack and Sarah repeated Molly's claims of abuse. But years later, they admitted the truth. Molly had coached them to lie. Their father hadn't been abusive. He'd been their protector. For Tracy, winning custody was bittersweet. She saved her brother's children from the woman who helped kill him. But those kids had still lost both parents. One to death, the other to betrayal. In 2017, Molly and her father stood trial for second-degree murder. Prosecutors painted a chilling picture. Jason was preparing to leave Molly, and she, with her father, ambushed him. Experts testified Jason was struck while lying defenseless on the ground. The brutality alone showed intent. The defense clung to self-defense. pointing to Tom's FBI career and Molly's claims of long-term abuse. But there were no medical records, no police calls, no evidence. After just 3 hours, the jury reached its verdict: guilty. Both were sentenced to 20 to 25 years. For Jason's family, it was justice. Finally, or so they thought. In 2021, the North Carolina Supreme Court overturned the convictions. They said errors had been made in how evidence was handled. Molly and Tom walked free on bond, awaiting a new trial. For Jason's family, it was like losing him all over again. By then, Jack and Sarah were teenagers. They spoke out publicly. They said the justice system had betrayed their father. Then in October 2023, the case took one last devastating turn. Rather than face another long trial, Molly and Tom struck a deal. She pleaded no contest. He pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter. With time already served, both were free within months. For Jason's family in Ireland, the pain was indescribable. They believed Jason had been murdered twice, once in his home and again in the courts. Today, Jack and Sarah live with their Aunt Tracy. They've grown into strong young adults determined to honor their father. Sarah even wrote a children's book about grief, Noodle Loses Dad. Jack pursues music and rugby. Both vow never to see Molly again. And as for Molly and her father, they live quietly in Tennessee, free from prison, but forever marked by what they did. A man who lost his first wife to tragedy, a father who lived for his children, and a second marriage that ended with a baseball bat and a brick. The Corbett family lost a son, a brother, and a father. Jack and Sarah lost 2 parents in one night, one to death, one to betrayal. And when justice failed, the wound cut even deeper. That is the haunting case of Jason Corbett.